For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 84. How do I say it best, you? Happy New Year. Yes, it's September 20th or whenever you're watching this. And I'm literally saying to my clients now, 2017 has officially begun. Now I know you're thinking, wait a minute, Tom, it's September, maybe it's early October when you finally catch this. And I've got all this time left and I want to finish the year strong. And my response is, good on you. And here's what I know. The market is frothy. There's opportunity everywhere. People are thinking bigger. People are looking at the business differently. We're expanding teams or our individual performance. And we all see this opportunity to sell more, to serve more, to earn more, and have 2017 be extraordinary. If you were with us at the summit, live or at Livecast, we were talking about how do we 10x our business and, or worst case, double or triple our business, because that is what's available for men and women just like you. So with all of that said, I'm in this conversation, and you've heard me say it before, show me your behaviors and I can predict your business. You know this because you've got friends and you watch them do certain things and you know that those behaviors create a specific result, right? Like you drink too much and then you struggle to keep your time commitments the next day in the morning and go to the gym. Like, do you know anybody like that? It's pretty obvious, this behavior creates this result. It's that simple. Well, I know if I watched you for 30 days in your business, if I watched you for a week in your business and I followed you around with like maybe a little AI, beautiful little bug that flies around and watches everything you're doing and I'm monitoring your behavior on my iPhone, I'd see what time you wake up in the morning and I'd see your morning routine and I'd see how you get to the office and I'd see what you do when you first get there and what activities and what do you get involved in and what are the meetings and what are the conversations and how is the flow of your day and what projects are you working on or not working on. And very quickly I'd be able to summarize how many transactions you do per year just based upon watching your behaviors. Now remember at the summit we talked a lot about modeling. This is one of those modeling opportunities for you. So I wrote down this for you. Why don't we make 2017 our best year ever? And instead of saying on January 1st, Happy New Year, here we go, this is my goal, and these are my behaviors, what if we started to align the behaviors around a 2017 vision starting right now in September? Not only will you finish the year strong and have a far greater fourth quarter because you're doing the right things every single day, building those new behavioral patterns, but more importantly, as you launch into the new year, guess what? You're not like, oh my goodness, now I've got to start. You're already in momentum. You're already in action. Does that make sense? Like really, 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 does that make sense? That's what I want to talk to you about today. So I put my little imaginary stop sign. My team was very acknowledging my artistic ability right today. Pretty good. So stop for a second and ask yourself, knowing what I now know about the market, knowing what I now know about myself, what's my goal for 2017? I know it's September whatever, October whatever, but what are you committed to for 2017? So you ready? How many transactions? I want to do 50 transactions. What's the sales volume on that? It would be $25 million in volume. What's the GCI? Oh man, it's a whole bunch of money. Sorry, I can't calculate it that fast in my head. And how much money do you want to save? I want to save 20% of my gross income direct into my savings account. And I've now got 4 measurable goals that I can get excited about. Now, if we're thinking about 2017 and we start fantasizing and getting the emotional juices flowing around those goals, if they're meaningful, if they're inspiring. I said to some people recently, we talk about crushing the fear of growth. Fear gets eliminated when I have a plan that I believe in. You with me on this? Where does fear come from? Fear comes from uncertainty. It comes from doubt. It comes from the not knowing what's going to happen next. Fear gets eliminated when I've got a plan that I'm committed to, that I believe in, and that I do the behaviors to generate the leads and the opportunities that make this future look extraordinary. Like, yeah, I could be having a bad day today, but if I wake up tomorrow and I've got appointments and leads and opportunities and listings that are about to sell and deals to negotiate, you don't stay in a bad mood for very long when your future's exciting. But when there's nothing in the future, there's nothing but, who's going to be the next president of the United States? Like, if that, first of all, I want to punch you in the face if that's what you're thinking about. Side note, you ready? If you're posting political things on your Facebook page, please, like really, please, like wake up. Be a little more mature, right? Why are you alienating half the people in your world? No one cares. Voting is private. Go in, get behind the sheets, pick the person, bail, and move on. You with me on this? But I know people today that they're not making phone calls because they're concerned about who the next president of the United States is going to be, and some of them are Canadians. Think about it. You ready? How do we eliminate the fear? How do we eliminate the fear? How do we eliminate the fear? You create a plan that you believe in, and you do the behaviors that create leads and opportunities and appointments, and now all of a sudden, I've got something that I'm moving towards, something that I'm inspired about. There's no time for drama and upset when I've got a listing opportunity, when I've got a deal I'm negotiating, when I've got a buyer who wants to write an offer. I got to be in that. And you know what, my friends? That's inspired action, and that's what I want. So, first, what's your goals for 2017? Then, what are just 3 new or / improved behaviors, now listen to the language, that would naturally and automatically cause my goals to happen? See, I like that. What behaviors would naturally and automatically? Now I know some people like it rough, like you want to force it. I want to force success. Right? No, I want it easy. I want it flowing. Like I know calling 5 people in my database, like I just know nurturing those relationships creates opportunities for referrals, creates opportunities for awareness. I become the, woman word of mouth advertising network for them, like all the things that are right about that. So when I do it, I win. And having 5 new conversations every day, I know that just talking to Sarah, who I'd never met before, who's had thoughts of selling or thoughts of buying or, whatever, like those opportunities, they create something, right, that inspires me. I know that when I do those things, it's natural and it's automatic that I'm going to achieve my goals. But when I don't do it, well, we know the opposite, right? So ask yourself, what are 3 behaviors? Is it getting up early? Is it making your calls? Is it at this point, because you're more advanced, is it the time between the lead coming in to the time that we reach out to them? Is the behavioral adjustment now how you want to lead and manage your team and be more inspiring for them? Is it really notching up your savings and your behaviors around how you're investing your money and how you're saving your money and a little more financial management? Is it physical fitness? Like what are you know you. And I'm not saying, what are your flaws or what are the holes? I'm saying if this is your goal for 2017 and these are your behaviors, you're screwed. It's not going to happen. What are the natural behaviors that would align for you? You know them. And then, number 3, the big question is, how do we then install those behaviors? Wouldn't it be great? Remember the movie The Matrix, right? So you've seen the movie The Matrix, right? Remember, Trinity would, there's a helicopter there, and she calls a tank. I need to learn how to fly a B, blah 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 helicopter, and the guy just programs it in, and all of a sudden her eyes flutter a little bit, and suddenly she can fly a helicopter. Wouldn't it be awesome if that's how it worked? You would just send me an email. Hey Tom, I need to be a master at $10 million plus listing presentations, and I need to be the most extraordinary person at following up and converting this lead source. And I would just, and your brain, it'd be done. Well, that's not how it works. The reality is, just like everything else in your life, behaviors take a little bit of time, right? And we got to do it over and over and over and over and groove it in. The challenge is most human beings today, if it's not on an app and we can't download it instantly, we're not all that into it, right? We don't want to do the work anymore. We've become extremely lazy as a society, not in terms of our work ethic, but like to change and alter. Like it's like people that say to me, gosh, Tom, I want to get in better physical condition. Like, are you kidding me? Like is there not a book you can read, or 8 million or 7,000 million videos you can watch on YouTube? How about just eat less and exercise more? Like, hello, it's not that complicated, but it's the behaviors that stop us. How do we instill them? Check it out. You ready? Number 1 is you got to create awareness, right? In anything that I want to do to create a change, right? My relationship, making phone calls, health and vitality, business, finance, whatever it is, I've got to say, okay, hey, wait a minute. What I'm doing is creating way too much pain and not enough pleasure. And the more real I can get around the pain, we all know we'll do way more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure. It's kind of, Tony Robbins made his entire fortune on that statement, but we know that that's true and real. But we've also got to associate the lack of pleasure that you get from it, right? So just awareness around it. Hey, Buying leads and not calling them is stupid, right? And yet 60% of all leads that get acquired never get a phone call, right? But it obviously isn't creating enough pain, so maybe you should look at your savings account and you should say, that savings account is a reflection of the fact that I buy leads that I don't follow up on. We've got to create some pain, because what that's gonna do, it's gonna elicit some why, like why I should change. To go deeper, I like to list out the reasons to change. So I say, all right, I want to do my 554 every day. So what are the benefits of doing so? Well, the top 10 benefits of me making my calls is, number one, my customers know that I've got their back and I feel good about that. Number two, I'm going to get 5 to 10% conversion of referrals, and that's going to equal this much money. Number three, I'm going to find some out-of-town area transactions because they know people that I can connect them to and other agents, and that's going to be a bunch of money, and this and this. And you list it out, whatever fires you up benefits. But then I'm going to flip and say, but what are the negative things? What are the consequences for not following through? What's the pain? And you and I both know, if I really want to make a change, when do most people really do it, right? Most people make change, guess what? Over tragedy, right? Not over the desire for triumph, but we make a change when the relationship goes sour or the client buys a house from someone else and you drive by and want to pull your hair out, right? We naturally want to blame them, but we know it's us. That's usually when most people make the change. I'm asking you to be conscious about it, the pain and the pleasure of it. List out the positive benefits for following through and the negative consequences for not taking action, to try and elicit inside yourself like some blood moving, boiling, getting upset about the fact that you are the cause of you not making the money you want, that you are the cause, your behaviors are the cause of your life being the way it is, of your savings account being the way it is, good, bad, or indifferent. You with me? Like, that's the beauty of you and I. Like, we get the self-awareness side. Most people, like, they're in a coma. They don't get it. You and I both know if it's gonna be, it's up to us. We gotta do it. Number three, I have to track and measure it, right? I have to start saying, okay, I'm using 554s as an example. 5 past client, 5 new, 4 lead follow-up, right? 554s. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it 90 days between now and the end of the year. So whatever that number is, 60 days. I don't care what it is, right? 60 days, right? 20 days a month, October, November, December, whatever. But I'm gonna put it up on the wall and it's gonna be visual, and it's either yes or no. I did it or I didn't do it. I'm gonna track and measure, because you know what happens? Whatever you want to improve, you measure. Whatever you want to improve, you measure. I want to increase my conversion of leads to appointments. Well, I've got to measure it to know where I'm at, to see what I got to do to get better. I want to get better health and vitality. You got to get on the scale. You got to do the measurements of your body to realize this is where I'm at now. What do I want to do next? When you measure it, it matters and it gets better. That's how it works. And then number 4, you got to create some accountability, because what we know is, for most people, left to our own devices. You know what I mean? Just one of my team members say to me today, oh God, I remember selling boxes, right? And I would start my day in the morning in my apartment, and I would kind of map out my day, because I was an independent salesperson, and I could drive all over San Diego and I could talk to these companies that want to sell boxes, right? He's watching right now going, I can't believe you're showing the story. But you know what he said? Like, I would wake up in the morning and there'd just be like all these things to do, and I would just somehow do nothing, because most of us just follow the path of least resistance. That's just what we do. It's human nature. We got 45 things to do, so I know what I do. I'll eat cereal, drink coffee, turn on the television, watch ESPN, and then wake up and it's noon. Do you know what I'm talking about? So with a little accountability, now all of a sudden, just accountability could be this. Hey, Sarah, here's the deal. I'm going to text you at 9 o'clock in the morning and say I'm at the office, and you're going to geo-target and know that I'm actually in the office, and then I'm going to do my hour of power. And any day that I don't report in, I'm here, do my hour of power, and then report when I'm done, I owe you $50, right? And all of a sudden now, Sarah, who's my buddy inside the office, who, by the way, has the same exact commitment, and she's watching the show right now too, she's gonna go, we should both do that. This is totally awesome. And you know, just, it's that awareness again. Like, we've committed to this, we're gonna do this. Maybe it only works for 3 or 4 weeks before we finally say, okay, screw it. You know, we've kind of lost the fun. We're out, going running in a marathon or doing something else. But the point is, that simple little act of accountability with a little pain, little pleasure, or just a little awareness, it goes a long way. We begin to groove the new behavior. We got to groove the new behavior. That's what it's all about. And then the last one, And arguably the most important is you got to celebrate at the end. Like, celebrate when you do it. I made my calls, I made my calls, I made my calls. Like, you got to do that, because then your body gets hardwired to start saying, wow, when we make our phone calls, we feel good. When we feel good, everything else seems to work. We get more appointments, we make more money, we make more sales. I want to feel good every day. So start celebrating. Now, deep, lots to cover. Probably need to watch this 3 or 4 times. Definitely going to be looking for some comments. This is one of those ones you're going to want to send to everyone you know inside the office and say, let's throw next week a Happy New Year party, and let's celebrate that 2017 has basically officially begun, that the things we're doing right now, yeah, we're going to close out some more deals and a whole bunch of it between now and the end of the year, but we're setting the tone for 2017 to be our best year ever. Show me your behaviors, and I will predict your future, my friends. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sharing this with some friends and helping them align their behaviors as well. If you got this shared, you should send them an email and say, are we going to have a $50 bet over who's going to make the most phone calls? Like, that could be a good idea. Thanks so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your commitments and your behaviors absolutely rule. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.